everyone, and welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us today for this live stream event. My name is Alexia, and I am the program manager of the Microsoft Reactor Toronto. I will share session resources with you in the chat, but before we begin, I'd like to quickly review two items: our code of conduct and event guidelines. First, please take a moment to review our code of conduct. Microsoft Reactor seeks to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. We encourage engagement in the chat, but please be mindful of your commentary, remain professional and on topic. And secondly, our event guidelines. This session is being recorded and will be available on demand through the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel in about 24 to 48 hours. I will be sharing the link in the chat for our channel. And if you have not been on the live stream to YouTube before, please note that you must create an account on YouTube in order to access and interact in the chat. You can set that up now, and if you're unable to use the chat but have questions, feel free to reach out to us through social media or on our website. Which brings us to today's session. I'm going to bring in our speaker here for today, Roberto. Hi, Roberto. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you, Alexia.
We're so glad to have you today in English for this session.
Yes.
Last time we had you up in the Reactor, this was in Spanish. So
yeah. 2 weeks ago, we have this session in Spanish, and in this time we repeat the session, but this time in English for other market and other attendants.
Well, very glad to have a new audience getting inspired with your knowledge. So feel free to jump right in. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for to the Reactor to allow me to be here again and in this session. And for sure, feel you free to put your comments in the comment. And firstly, allow me to introduce me. My name is Roberto Corella. I am from Spain. I am Microsoft MVP and MCT in business applications. I usually I am a speaker in Direction EMEA, Direction Asia, and Days of Knowledge is there are events specialized in Business Central or Microsoft Business Central and all the ecosystem of Business Central. Also, I am a speaker in Dynamics Biz Summit in Spain. It's another event very important for Power Platform tools in Spain. And I have a blog and a YouTube channel about Business Central and Power Platform. You can see the links on the below part of the screen. And also, I work as a Power Platform and Business Center developer in two companies. Suitech Technologies, a specialized company to work with hotel management software, and a general partner like Intellecta is another partner, but is more general partner from Business Central and Power Platform. And of course, now let me to begin with the agenda. What we can see today, we will see Power BI. I know that all of you know Power BI, but we can review a little things about Power BI. Later, we can see Microsoft Forms. We will see also Microsoft Power Automate. And finally, we will see a streaming report. In our session, we will see a very interesting tool, several tools, but we will see several a process to organize a system. In this case, we can create a real demonstration with a reactor survey. We can obtain information from forms. With Power Automate, we create a process to pass the information from the reactor survey to Power BI. This is in a very whole system to control of the tools in the Microsoft ecosystem, directly working with different tools from Microsoft ecosystem. We can start with Power BI. I am sure that you know, but let me check some parts of the Power BI. Power BI is a data-driven software. When we use Power BI, we want to organize every raw data that we have in the world. We can see SQL, Oracle, Salesforce, different sources for our data. And after a transformation, we want to obtain real information or information that we can take decision with this information. Because if we have a lot of data, but we can organize this information, is a very it's strange information, a lot of noise, a lot of data, and it's not possible to take a good decision. In this case, we use Power BI to organize every data in the world, every information in the world, in the real world, and using the Power Query, we can pass the information to a very nice dashboard or very nice report to see the information and take the decision in the better way, right? Right, but really, Power BI is not only a software. It's a collection of software. We have different reports in different software in Power BI. We can have Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is a tool. It's a free tool. It's very important that we have a very power tool like Power BI by free. Then we can download this software, this Power BI, and use it to create our dashboard, or in this case, our report firstly, and later we can create the dashboard. But also, we can have another tool in this case that is the Power Query Editor. The Power Query Editor is a tool to transform our queries, because everything that we receive from our data source can be not important for us. Maybe we don't need every information. We can transform some of them to create a more efficient model of the data, and then we need to improve this model, creating another column, creating, deleting remove some column, and so on. This is another software, is Power BI Desktop, Power BI Power Query Editor, sorry, and of course we have another tool that is the service. Including with the Power BI, we have a Power BI service. We will see later the service, because we use the service directly. Later I speak about what we only use the service. But the service is the system. The Power BI service is an application on the cloud where we put some of our information, the data set or the reports or the dashboard, to share with other people or share with myself using a mobile, because I can use a mobile to use to use the report or to see the report. Also, we have another part of the Power BI is the apps. As you can see in the screen, we have a Power BI app you can use in a mobile, in an Android mobile or iPhone mobile. We have in most of the platform, and we can see the reports in the mobile. It's not the same report that you see on the screen in the computer. It's directly a report created for the mobile. We can create a different layout, one for the screen, the computer, another for the mobile. Then this is the another app. Also, we have another thing that is called app in the Power BI service. What is the app? The apps are dashboard that someone create in order that you use, but only introduce your credential to obtain your data. Imagine that someone create a very nice dashboard, a very nice report, and you only need to put your credentials, because each visualizes each report is created, and you don't need to know what is the content of the model, the data set. You don't need to know how is created the model. You don't need to know how is created the system, right, internally. You only need to introduce your credentials, and the report is showing on the screen. Later we will see some of this information. Of course, we have this is not services, it's connectors, right? This is the second service, is the connectors. We have connectors. What is the other part of the Power BI are the connector. We can connect with a lot of data sources. We can connect with SQL. We can connect with Business Central. We can connect with Salesforce. Different data sources that for connect almost for every software or databases around the world. I think we can use every system. We can obtain data from every system that you can find. Sure, it's possible to obtain information from them. Right. How to use Power BI? To use Power BI, we have different data sources. Later, the information is created in the Power BI desktop. And finally, you can pass the information to the service or to the mobile, right? But the process is obtain the information from the data sources, pass this information to the Power BI desktop, create your data model, create your information, create your columns, remove the non-used columns, and then we can create a report. Later, when we have the report created in Power BI, we can pass this information, publishing in the service, and then we can from here we can this is the service. Later we will see on the screen, but with this information we can share with other colleagues or workers on the another members of the team in the company and so on, right? But the process is, firstly, this is the data source, pass the information to the Power BI desktop, and finally, we pass the information to the Power BI service. Okay, but today we want to see some special and less known Power BI tool. Is the streaming Power BI. Power BI. What is the streaming Power BI? Power BI is a real-time streaming. We can create reports in real time. We can create, obtain information, and as you receive the information, is shown in the system. As you can see here, we have different screens, different visualizers with the temperature, humidity, different levels, or that we need to create this information. We need this information in real time because it's important to know the real time information. This is the streaming Power BI. We can receive the information as soon as is created. We can use the Power BI, streaming Power BI with any visual or dashboard in Power BI. We can create every visual to put the information. But one of the most important thing is the streaming Power BI don't create a database. Is only in the cache. We only see the information and is removed after to show on the screen. Then it's important to show this information on the screen, and is for this reason we only have dashboard, right? We can use the dashboard to create this kind of Power BIs, because you need to see the information in real time on the screen in a very big screen where you will see the information in the real time. Some of the things that you can obtain in real time is factory sensors. Of course, we can have social media sources. We need to receive this information in real time. Sensitive data collectors or transmitters, because we need the information as soon as they are created. Then this is the importance for the Power BI. In Power BI, to create a streaming Power BI, we have three types of method to connect, right? We can create using Azure Stream. Is a tool in Power BI, a tool in Azure to connect with the system, especially for the IoT systems, because Internet of the Things, we can connect directly with the IoT systems in the Power in Azure. We can connect by PubNav. PubNav is a platform to receive information in real time, but of course we can create real Power BI or streaming Power BI with API. If you don't know me, I love the API. I love the API systems. I create a lot of APIs for Business Central and so on. And for this reason, I want to show you today how to use Power BI, the streaming Power BI, using the Power BI REST APIs. What is API? API is a way to connect to computers, to automatic systems, right? This is the the big description is that you can connect from one computer to another computer using this API, or this door. Is like a door that the other computer can use to enter data or to receive data from the first software, right? And in this case, we will use this streaming Power BI, the API to use in Power BI. In order to be more clear about the things that we prepare in Power BI, normally we have two different elements. Firstly, we have the data set, right? The data set is the model, the structure, the database of the information. This is the more where the metadata, the structure of my data is in the software, right? And in other side, we have the report. The report is the screen that you see, right? The data set is only the model of the data, but the report is the information that you can see when you see the screen, right? And in this case, here is our data set, different a data set. We have tables, we have fields for each table. We can have different properties for these fields. For these tables, we have a relation between the tables. This is the data set, right? This is the information from the data set. But we have the report. The report is the information that you see on the screen. The information that the user can see when open the Power BI, right? This is the report. That in this case, we create a data set to store the information from the real time, right? This is the method. Okay, in order to create this streaming data set, we have a new model or new item in our button. This is called a streaming data set. We will create a streaming data set using the API option, and later we can create the streaming data set. Then, when we create this data set, we need to inform each of the fields or the columns that we will want to store in our data set, right? This is a very important option that we will see now in the demo, because this mark, we can have this mark in this place. As I told you before, the streaming data set don't have any historical data. And then if you want to use a historical data, if you want to don't lose the information after a moment, after 30 seconds or so on, you need to create or to save, to store this information in some place. And then you need to put this mark in order to the information is stored in our data set, right? Okay, and finally, before to go to the demo, when we create this information, we receive an API link, the URL with the link to use it in Power BI. I don't know if you are familiar with the APIs, but this is a very interesting place, interesting a point to see in because with this you can use any other. Today we will use Microsoft technologies, but you can use this URL to use with any other software, any other platform that you need, that you use. But of course, today we will use every part of the Microsoft technologies to create our processes. Right. Then speak is issue. Let's go to the demo, right? To see the demonstration. Okay. As I told you before, we can have this link. Oh, sorry, this not app.powerbi.com, and this is the service, right? We don't use the desktop because it's not normal to use a real-time Power BI in a desktop because it's not possible. Imagine that you have your computer off, and then how can I receive the information? You need to receive the information when you are on the cloud, and you receive all the information directly on the cloud. Then we use the Power BI service to later I try to answer your question, GL. Okay. In this case, we use the app.powerbi.com, and in this case we have our workspace, right? Workspace is like a folder. It's a folder where you store the information there. We can have different folders. I have different folders here. Each folder you can share with some part of your team. This is the production team. This is the accounting team, and then each team have their folder to their permissions, and you can use as to organize your place, right? Only one thing. Before I told you that Power BI is free. It's free, but if you want to share with other users, then you need to use the version Pro, right? Here I am using the free account, and I have a trial status. I have a trial. But if you want to share your data with other user on other teams or something like this, you need to obtain the paid version, in this case Pro. But it's not the matter for the session, but some products from Microsoft, you can obtain the Pro version directly. Maybe you have some version of Office or something like this. You can obtain the Pro version. Then it's better that you ask for your partner to obtain this information, right? As told you before, we have apps. Remember, we have apps in Power BI. This is the apps. Let me show you only 1 second. We can have here different pre-designed reports to use directly, right? We can have in this marketplace, we have different apps, different reports. For instance, you imagine that you don't know how to work with Google Analytics. Well, you can go here and say, okay, this is this app have the structure created for Google Analytics. You only need to introduce your credentials, and if you introduce your credentials, you can create all of this report directly, and you don't need to know any about the model of Google Analytics. Directly, you can have this information there. Then this is the the apps that I told you before. But in this case, we will we work directly from here and go to my workspace. My workspace is a folder where I have, in this case, two elements. Normally, we have two elements. We can have more, but in this case, we have normally these two elements. One for data set, and the second one is the report. Data set is the model, the tables, the relation, everything like this. And later we have the report. The report is the information that you can see, right? In this case, if I press here, you can have this report that I showed you before. Right. Then, to create a real time, we can go here, streaming data set. Perfect. We have the three options here: API, Azure, or PubNav. I want to create by API. We can put here a name for the data set is survey 21, because today is 21. And let's go to create a streaming data set. Then I can create with a name. We can create question 1. In this case, is number. Question 2 is number also. And question 3 is number, right? This is the structure for our API. The body of the API will be like this. And remember that we want that to the information is stored in our data set. Then we need to put this data, the historic data analysis in on, sorry, and later we can create. And we have here the URL directly. This is the URL that we can use. This is a different ways to use the URL in different languages, the samples that we can create. But this is not important for me now. If you want to use the API in another platform, you need this URL to imagine that you work with Postman or with any software like this. You can copy this URL and create a body like this to introduce information in our system, right? Then this is a standard system, a standard URL from Microsoft, right? Then, when we create this, we have here. This is the data set, but as you can see here, this icon is different than this icon, right? Because this icon, the icons are different because the icon is with the streaming, the Wi-Fi symbols, and the other is directly this other is the standard data set, but this one is when is a streaming data set, right? We have the place where we store the information. Okay. GL asked in the chat that the API is for commercial cloud community. You can use. I don't know if you can use in the Microsoft Government Cloud Community. I am not sure about this. Sorry for this, but I suppose that if our Power BI, if our service in Power BI is in this kind of clouds in the Microsoft Government Cloud community, you will receive directly the API with this link, with the special link for the government. Then, in this case, we receive this API, the URL standard, because I am in the standard link, in the standard zone, or it's a commercial Microsoft commercial area. But if you want if you use the Power BI in a government place, surely you receive the API with the special URL for this, right? I suppose, but I am not sure. Sorry, but I'm not sure. But I believe that it is the normal thing. If you have the information, you have your Power BI in a government place, you receive the link in the government the government link, not the standard or the commercial link, right? Okay, we have the place to store the information. Let's go with the next part. What is the next part? The next part is that as we have very tools in business and in Microsoft, we have the Power Platform to use, right? To use each tool. We are using now this one, Power BI, but later we will use this Power Automate tool to join the things. But not only can you use these tools, we have a very big ecosystem, and we can use not only the Power Platform, we can use the Microsoft 365 tools like Teams, Outlook, Excel, Word, and so on. But of course, we can use the Azure machine learning and these kind of things. Then today, we want to use another tool called Forms. I am sure that all of you use Forms in any of your surveys that you receive from, for instance, Reactor, right? We can go to the apps it's included in one part of the Microsoft 365. Then we have another tool called Forms, right? This is the system, the tool, and then we can create a survey, a form, and put this link in any place on your web, or send the information to your users or something like this. In this case, we use to create a basic survey to receive information from the web. Let's go to the demo. Okay, this is the as you can see, we can you know that we can go here. We have the different tools, the different apps that we have in Microsoft 365, and then we have one here is called Forms, right? We can show all the apps, and you can look for them. Here we have the same icon in this part. It's possible to go from directly from here or from here. We open the forms. Let me go here because it's bigger to see more clearly. Then we can create new forms. It's very easy. I don't know if you know how to create these forms, but it's really very easy. Create a new form and say, okay, how is to call your form? My form is called for instance, survey reactor 21. And this is a very short survey to use in our demo. Okay, this is the name of the of the name of the form. And now, which is the next part? To create the questions. In this case, the first question is, tell me your name. And this is a space to create to introduce your name is required. We need to require this question is compulsory to use this question. We can create another one. The other one is, do you like reactor? One is no. 5 is a lot, right? Then we put different options. 3, 4, 5. This is another option and is required also. Okay, this is the second question. I add another question. This is the choice. Do you like Power BI? Okay, the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another only another one is the let me modify something because later is easy. This is the first question. Okay. This is the second question. And finally, we can create a new one. It's a choice also. And let me, do you like Power Automate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It's easy peasy. You can create a very easy, let me put the number 3. Later you can see why I put the number here. And you can see this is the form, very easy to create. And we can create different styles. Imagine that we can create this style, or you have more styles for this is another different styles for this one. Right, this is my style for today. Okay, after this we need to collect responses, right? This is the way to collect the responses. Is we have 3 important options here. Anyone can respond. This is when you put when you put the URL in your websites because you want, or you send by email to every for the wide range of people, and you send by email this link and obtain the responses from any person. And you say, no, I only want that the people from my organization can respond this question, or only specific people from my organization. In this case, we use anyone can respond, and we have here the link, right? The link, we can short the link, we can obtain the QR to put in our website or to put in any place. But in this case, we can copy the link and press here. We have here our this is the form that just to create. Okay, this is my name. This is my option 5, 5, 5. This is the last one. It is not okay, and this is okay. Let me modify this one, because we have one question, extra question. This is delayed. Okay, we have the forms. As you can see, it's very easy to create a form to receive information from your user, from your people, and it's very, very, very easy. But this is now our let me show you my first. This is, we have now, sorry, we have now the survey, we have the Power BI, and now we need to use to have the Power Automate, right? Then, very, very, very easy, because the time is gone. Let me go here. I don't know if you know Power Automate. Power Automate is to create processes. We have three types of Power Automate, mainly in the cloud: automated, instant, and scheduled. In this case, automated cloud flow is when you trigger the flow, the Power Automate, the flow when something happened, when you receive an email, when you when a new record is stored in a place, when you receive a response from a forms. This is the kind of flows that call automate. If you want to use an instant cloud flow, an instant is when you press a button. For instance, if you create a Power App, or mainly a Power App, or Power Virtual Agent, or other tools, and say, okay, when you press the button, execute this or run this flow. This is an instant cloud flow. And also, finally, we have the scheduled cloud flow. Every Friday at 9 in the morning, send an email to every people in the organization. This is a scheduled flow. We have more. This is a desktop flow. Is another flow is this one. But in this case, is when you download a software and record the information, that the movements that you prepare in your system, and later we can repeat the same movements or the same actions, right? In this case, we use automate cloud flow, and we can create a Power Automate. Okay, let me go to the demo, and let's go to create a new flow. If you want to create a Power Automate, only need to go to the make.powerautomate.com. And we can go to the My Flows, New Flow. we have the different types of flows. In this case, we can use this automate because we want to pass the information from the forms to the Power BI, and then we will use this kind of flows. Power Automate is for join both of the systems. In this case, use this one. I just skip the wizard and say, okay, what kind of trigger we need to create our Power Automate? Of course, we need forms. This is the connector. When someone send a response, we want to save this information in the Power BI, right? Then this is the trigger forms. What is the trigger? When a new response is submitted. Okay, put this information and say, okay, tell me the ID, the form ID. What is the form ID? Press here and download every I don't know, the reactor survey reactor 21. This is our form. Then choose this one. Okay. Then the next step is that everything that you receive something, the trigger from Power Automate, you need to use one for the trigger and one action to receive the information, right? This is normally we have two steps to create to obtain all the information. In this case, only receive a trigger, but we don't receive the information of the answers, the answers in the survey. Then we use a new step here and use the same connector forms, Microsoft Forms, and use get response details. With this, I obtain the information, the real answer. With this, only have the trigger. And with this step, we receive the real information, the details of the response. Ask me again for the form ID. This is the form ID, and which is the response ID, the response that received before. This is the dynamic content that here. This is from here, right? Is the ID received when someone create a response, right? Use this response. Okay, now we have the details, right? We have the real information. Okay, but what want to do with this? To create the information in Power BI, right? Then the next step will be Power BI, and the action that we use is to add rows to a data set. Where is my data set? Then I can see every folder or workspaces in my system. I have this workspace, my workspace, because here, this is my workspace. This is my workspace. Then creating my workspace, in which data set we have survey 21, because this is the survey 21 is the just created data set. And finally, in which table? A real-time data set only have one table, is the real-time data. Okay, and now suddenly we have the free options to fill the information in the to store the information in the data set. The name. What is the name? The name is, tell me your name. The answer of the this information. We have this information as the get response details. Get response details. Then this is the details of the people when the people receive the information, right? This is the the different options to put here. The name will be the first question. The do you like that the reactor is the number 1? Then put here and put here. The question 2 is, do you like Power BI? Okay. Do you like Power BI? And the question 3 is, do you like Power Automate? Okay. Question 3, Power Automate. And it's all save. And we have, oh, the name is very poor. Let me modify the name of the Power Automate. Is Survey Reactor Survey 21 demo, for instance. It's more more clear, and save again. And we have all we have now the way to join the form and the Power BI. Okay, let me check if it's okay. Let's go to collect questions. This is my survey. Start now. This is my name. My name is Roberto. This is my information. Okay, okay. This is the information. Submit. Okay. Let's go to send again another answer. This is Bill. I don't like. Well, okay. This is I don't like Power BI. This is the other. Submit. And when you go to the Power Automate, you can see we have here both the two times that you receive the information. We have one item, one flow for each response that we receive. Let me show you that. If I go here, this is all of the steps are okay, and we receive an information. This is the information we can have here, and this is the answers that we receive, and this is the information that you save on the Power BI. Okay, very easy, very easy, but very useful tool. Let me go again here. But we have here our data set, but as I told you before, we don't have any report. And if I want to see the report, the information, I need to create a report, right? Let me create a let me show you here. Create a report with this information. And if you are familiar with Power BI, this is the same that you create in Power BI Desktop. And let me put here the information. And let's go. This is a instead sum. We can put average. And as you can see, we have. If we create a new response, let's go to create a new one, start one, and this is the 3, 1, and 3. Same again. This is the survey is sending the information, the answers, and if we want in the history, we receive the new one flow here. And let me save this report. This is a survey reactor 21, save. And if I refresh, we have the new answer just created directly in our forms. Right. This is just in time. Let me show you a little review. This is the we will see Power BI. We saw Microsoft Forms. We saw Power Automate and a little streaming report. And this is only if you have you can see here in this QR the information about the streaming data set. And if you want to see more information about Power BI or Power Platform, Business Central, this is my my channel. If you want, if you are in Europe, the next month we are in direction Lyon, in direction EMEA, and you can see there I have several sessions. And no more. Thank you, and let me see if you have any question. Let me check. I don't know if you have any question. G as about Power BI is part of the Microsoft Fabric environment. Yes, Power BI is one of the tools that we can see in Power BI and now in Fabric. Remember that Fabric, Microsoft Fabric is a newest tool. We have that Power BI. You can use alone Power BI. Power BI Fabric, we have a lot of options, a lot of elements, but Power BI is, you can use Power BI alone. You don't need to use every part of the Fabric, because with Fabric you can use lakes, data lakes, and something like this, and then maybe it's too much for this this event, this matter. The recording of this session made available. I think it's available in the Reactor channel in YouTube. Sorry, sorry. And I don't know. Muchas gracias, Dani. Desde Colombia, thank you very much from Colombia. Thank you very much from Spain. It's possible to connect the existing database to Power BI through Power Automate. Yes, we can use Power BI. Power Automate is like the way to join Power BI, every tool from Power Platform. In this case, is very useful for join Power BI with other tools. But in this case, I don't know if you need Power Automate. I'm sure that you can use directly your database directly to Power BI, because we have several connectors to use. Then I think it's not necessary to use Power Automate. Then it's not the way. Power Automate is when you want to obtain information directly, but if you want to connect with a database, I am sure that you have, if the database is SQL or is another kind of Power BI have a lot of connectors for different database. I'm sure that you have one for your database. Power BI is part of the Microsoft. Yes, as I told you before, is part of the Microsoft Fabric environment. Yes, but as I told you before, we can use Power BI alone. It's not necessary to have the whole part of Fabric, the Microsoft Fabric. But yes, if you buy Microsoft Fabric, you will obtain the Power BI. Any other question? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much. And if you have any question, you have here my LinkedIn. Well, no, now it's not the LinkedIn. Thank you. This is my LinkedIn. If you have any question, please contact with me, and I'll try to answer your questions or to solve any doubt. Thank you very much, and please fill the survey that Alexia Reactor sent you. And thank you for being here with me today, and see you in the next time.